Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. So much going on. Just makes you wonder, don't it? Hey, friends. Just going to give us a couple minutes to let everybody get logged on here and get to coming on. It's windy down here in Oklahoma today. It's a little chilly. Not as cold as yesterday, but it's chilly. The wind's blowing about 25 miles an hour. Just giving this a couple of minutes to let more people get logged on here before we get started. I got a lot of things I want to give my opinion about. Morning, Sherry. Morning, Kimberly. How's it going this morning? Jerry? Oh, I am. I'm dressed warm, as you can tell. Got me a felt shirt on here, my wool vest, my wild rag. I'm ready for it. I already been out in it playing, so. Freezing in Ohio. Michael, that's not good. Hey, Hoss. Hell, Don. How's it going? Morning, everybody. All right, I'm glad everybody's coming in this morning. Glad everybody's coming in. We're going to have an interesting lunch hour. Got Buddy. How's it going, Buddy Turner? I'm glad you can join us. Topic's going to be a lot of different things I'm going to give my opinion on. We're going to talk about the Bundys. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of resignations, or they're going to go to jail in the government. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Cold in Bama. I can just imagine. Howdy from the oil field in North Dakota. Now, Randall, that is cold country. I got stuck in North Dakota one winter, and I swore up and down you would never catch me in North Dakota in the wintertime again. It was too damn cold for me. All right, we're starting to get a bunch of people on here, so everybody knows how we start this. Now, I got to apologize. When I did my live stream on Wednesday, I was pretty pissed off, I'm going to put it that way, at an individual, and I screwed the allegiance up. That is my fault. I want to apologize 100%. So today, let's do it right. Let's get it right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, it's been interesting. It's been real interesting lately. We got so much going on that it does make you wonder what's what. Let me turn this real quick. Put this down. Yeah, there's my liberal. There's Ghost, the liberal. She's going to help today. But anyway, Donna's not here right now. She might be back in time because she had to run up to the hospital and clean a room. But anyway, Minnesota. Hello, Brad. Glad everybody can join us. Okay, let's get this started on my opinions. Well, as everybody's seen on Wednesday, I had a yahoo who thought he was going to be a real big dog. Well, just let everybody know that Mr. Jacob Robert Andros, I got hold of him and I talked to him. And he is typically your silent bully. In a nutshell, he can talk the talk, but he cannot walk the walk. I was able to get with him via messaging on Facebook. And I invited him, as you guys seen, to come here and meet with me. Him and his Illuminati and his Legion to come here and meet with me. He flat out told me he is not coming to America. He's going to stay over there in Australia where he's at. He is not coming here. So the good news is, Mr. Jacob Robert Andros, he proved to be what most of these millennials now are, these snowflakes are, these transgender wannabes who don't know who they are or what they are. He's just a coward. And he proved that in a big way. Even though he made phone calls and death threats to really good friends of mine and their family members. He was confronted with this. And he denied it, of course. But we have the proof and we have the evidence that he did this. I even have his phone number on my phone from when he called me. So, but anyway, In a nutshell, he's a coward. He's not going to show up, so it's all said and done. Okay, so enough with that. Now, what's going on now? The election for Judge Roy Moore. Judge Moore came out, and this is my opinion now. This whole thing, everything I say on here is my opinion on a lot of things. But Judge Roy Moore said he's going to wait for the military on Tuesday. Now, people can take that to mean a lot of different things, and there's a lot of talk out right there right now that the military is going to take over the government. Well, people were thinking that's what it is, because, see, the military, it's already been verified fact that the military has taken over the CIA headquarters. That is a known fact. It's out there. You can find it. It was blasted all over different websites that you can go on, Nacera, Blogspot, Nacera News, RumorMill.com. You can go out there. There is many, many links to all of it. But hello, Barbara. Thanks for coming from Oklahoma. I'm in south of Woodward up by Mutual. Glad you can join us. But anyway, the military did take over CIA headquarters. That is a guaranteed known fact. Well, when Judge Moore said he's waiting for the military for Tuesday, did he mean that he's waiting for the military to take over the government on Tuesday? Or did he mean he was waiting for service members' votes to come in, the write-in votes to come in? Well, they just got all these write-in votes in. And you look at the numbers of all the write-in votes that they had from the military people, from the service people. Judge Moore won this election hands down. Hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But somehow, some way, because I was watching this via the internet, and he had this thing won. He had it wrapped up 100% by 10 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night, my time. 9 o'clock. He had it wrapped up. There was only like 10% of the votes coming that was left. He was in a huge lead. But then all of a sudden, within an hour's time frame, everything changed. Now here's the funny part. Here's the funny part. Where did all these buses come from? There's video out there of multiple buses lined up the street and people going in to vote. There's also a video out there of some young yahoo that's saying, oh yeah, we came from all over the country in our affiliation to help him win. Why in the hell do the Democrats have to bring people in to help cheat on an election? Does Judge Moore scare them that much? A man who's a firm believer in the Constitution, a man who's a firm believer in the Bible, a man who's a firm believer in right and wrong. Does it scare them that much that they have to bring illegals in? They have to bring dead people in to vote, which they've already found out. Now, here's another question I have, because I'm not from that state, but I would like to know why. The Supreme Court of that state decided at the very last minute to pass a law in Alabama, the Supreme Court did, to destroy all the voting ballots after they were counted. So they can't have a recount. Why is that? Why did those Supreme Court of Alabama do that? I would like to know that. That's just not right. You people in Alabama, you need to start standing up. You need to get loud. You need to raise so much Billy hell that it is heard clear over there in California and clear up to Alaska, clear up to New York. You guys need to stand up. You guys need to make some serious noise. Because, remember I mentioned on here about common law? What the Supreme Court in Alabama did violated common law. And it violated federal law. You cannot destroy voting ballots instantly after they have been cast, so a certain person wins. You cannot do that. That violated the law. So, if you're in Alabama and you're a Roll Tide fan It's about time you started getting that roll tide to going. And roll tie that son of a gun all the way up to the Supreme Court of Alabama. Figure out what's going on. Okay? Because something's not right. You know, with all those buses lining up and down the street, they brought in a lot of felons. They brought in illegals. They brought in Soros. All them people brought in a lot of things. And Doug Jones, just who is Doug Jones? Does anybody really know anything about Doug Jones other than he is 100% for a woman who's fixing to give birth? But yet she hasn't crowned yet, but yet you can still go in there and have an abortion. That's his biggest stance. That's what he's for. That's murder in my book. That is downright murder. No ifs, ands, buts about it. That is murder. So why you guys want to elect a murderer into office is beyond me. So you guys need to change that. You need to change that, period. So with that being said, Alabama, my support's behind you. If you want to get up and get the roll tide going and start changing some things, you need to do it because the bullshit's getting deep, getting real deep. Now, a question I have, is there a whole bunch of false flags going on? A whole bunch of false flags. I think there is because we have some major changes coming. I've told you guys several weeks ago to start educating yourself. Start paying attention to what's going on in the government. Start paying attention to what's happening in our world right now. Start paying attention to what's going on in your own city and state and county. Because let me tell you, there is a lot of changes coming. And they're good and they're bad. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people running scared right now. Judge Navarro in Nevada is running scared right now. She has gotten to the point to where the Bundy trials should all be thrown out. But she's gotten so scared now that she's having secret closed-door meetings, which is a violation of the law. Because all courts are supposed to be open to the public. The only ones I've ever heard of that is a closed-door session is the ones Congress has if there's top secret information. Period. In a nutshell. No ifs, ands, buts about it. So why is this judge in Nevada having closed-door court sessions where nobody is allowed? The defendants aren't even there right now, and she's having closed door. So what's wrong? What's wrong with that? Is there something going on there? I think so, and I think Judge Navarro is getting scared. Because all of a sudden, after she decided, okay, I'm going to let everybody go home after being in jail for years, now it's come out. There's been a huge information dump. A huge information dump. Not only from a whistleblower, but from other sources on just what is going on. And, hold on. Bridget Ackley, I heard he wants to get rid of every amendment after the 10th Amendment. Is that true? What's your thoughts? I have not heard about that yet, Bridget. I have not heard anything about that yet. There's stuff that happens over there that I don't know about here. All I can do is try to find it, but I haven't heard anything about that yet personally. And like I said, like you guys know, I don't have a TV. We have a TV, but all we watch is Netflix on this smart Roku. You know, you got different programs you can download for the kids stuff. That's all I have. I don't have regular TV, so I will look that up. But anyway, there's some changes coming around, and this Judge Navarro is one of them. I think she's going to find herself disbarred, if not arrested herself, because she has committed treason in so many ways. So is all the FBI people that's been involved in this. They've committed treason. They've committed murder. Murder in the name of the government. You know, you're looking at a family who's been on this land for well over 100 years before the Bureau of Land Management even came into existence. And for them to go in and supersede everything, and the Bureau of BLM act like they are God, something is seriously wrong. The Bundys did nothing wrong. The Hammonds did nothing wrong. The Hammonds followed the law too. In case you guys haven't heard about the Hammonds, you need to. The Hammonds went out and burnt some land. They had an agreement to go out and burn this land. You know, and when everybody does this in agriculture, your ranches, you go out and burn land, you get rid of the old dead grass. It brings on good grass. Brings back the land the way it was supposed to. Fire helps everything regrow. So we have the Hammonds, we have the Bundys, we have the murder and assassination of Lavoy Finnegan. That was perpetrated by not only the FBI, but the Sheriff's Department and the Department of Justice. Is there something going on? Oh yeah, huge, huge. And it's finally coming back to bite him in the butt. So, my thoughts on this and my opinion on this is Cliven, Ammon, Ryan, and every political prisoner with the refuge and everything else should be released. The case should be thrown out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way you can do anything about it because they did not break the law in any way, shape, or form. And if anybody is paying attention to anything, go look at the refuge where they were at. No, it wasn't a standoff. They went and occupied it, but that place had been shut down for years. Years. Was not in use for years. The FBI and the Department of Justice went in and put cameras up on all the poles so they could see who's there. They showed up with their attack dogs. They had snipers out there sighting in on people. They actually came up with a kill list of who to start killing during the Bundy standoff. They wanted to kill Cliven Bundy so bad, but you will never find a picture of Cliven Bundy with a firearm or a gun on his person. Period, in a nutshell. But they wanted to kill him. He's on the kill list. So was Ammon Bundy. So was Ryan Bundy. They killed Lavoy. And they wanted to kill a lot more. But things did not escalate. And that's a good thing. And that's the nice thing about this whistleblower coming out. All this is starting to come to the forefront. It is all over the internet. It's actually making big time news. Thank God it's finally making news. Because, folks, if you live in the country, if you own land, if you raise cattle or have anything to do in agriculture, the government will try to dictate what you do. They have no grounds to dictate what you do. And if you try to step up to them, this is what could possibly happen. So, with that being said, I have my stuff. I have my critters out here. I got my cattle. I got my horses. I got my chickens. If you want to come in and try to dictate to me how I can do things, I will stand my ground. I will not let the federal government come in here and dictate what I can and cannot do. Just like everybody born in America has a constitutional right to do what they want to do with their lives and their land. You know, our government has gotten so way out of hand. It's scary. And Obama really gave them the power, and Eric Holder gave them the power to overstep their bounds. Huge. And now it's time to reap what they sow. So with the government being so huge right now, the good part about it is if you guys are paying attention, it's starting to come back and bite them in the keister. Because with them overstepping their bounds, they're starting to step on their friends. They're starting to step on themselves. They're starting to fall over everybody else. And they're forgetting about us. Because now they're so busy trying to cover their own keister that they're forgetting the main thing. Everybody born in the United States of America has a constitutional right. You cannot take that away from us at all for any reason. We have a constitutional right. Period, in a nutshell. The only way they can take that constitutional right away from you is to kill you, take your birthday from you. And we know the federal government has done that. We know Hillary Clinton has done that. We know Bill Clinton has done it. I mean, they've got a death list out there of everybody who's following them, been associated with them, turned against them, and they wind up dead. Heck, there was just a report on a doctor who was just found with a knife in his chest. There is so much evidence right now. So much evidence right now against the Clintons. So much evidence right now against a lot of people in the government. Why are we not seeing anybody being arrested? Now, my opinion on this is somebody's got something on somebody about something. You know, first, we started hearing about Hillary's book, okay? She was trying to cover up for something. Then all of a sudden, the sexual harassment stuff come up. So that's hiding other things that's going on right now. You know, why is there so many people being caught doing wrong, but nobody is being arrested? Nobody. That's what I want to know. Because I guarantee you good folks this. If I did any of that stuff, if you did any of that stuff, even in a small inkling of anything the Democrats and the rhinos are doing, we would be in jail within a mere matter of minutes. So, if we can be arrested on suspicion of something, how come they're not? Why are they still in office? Why are they still out there flapping their gums? Why are they still out there trying to dictate what you and I have to live with? Why is so many Democrats in trouble right now, paying $200,000 to their whores so they don't say nothing about their sexual stuff? You know, why is it there's so many people dying that's associated with somebody else? Why is there so many politicians on both sides creating treason but not being arrested? I would like to know this. They violate the law. They break the law. They break our trust. They violate the Constitution. They commit treason in many different ways in office. So why are they not being arrested? Because when we get arrested, it's public knowledge. So how come they're not getting arrested, and how come it's not public knowledge? How come they don't get shown with handcuffs on? By God, they need to. You know, folks, there's so many changes coming on right now. It's scary. It is real scary. These changes coming on have started with the tax bill. Now, Donna really pulled it up this morning and read it. She read exactly what the new tax bill is. I'm going to give you guys just a little snippet. If you make $10,000 a year, your taxes will be 10%. If you make $100,000 a year, your taxes will be 10%. Ain't that amazing? So does that mean that you'll actually be able to keep more money? And yes, the higher money you go, the more it'll go up. Say you make, like right now, here in Oklahoma, Donna, 35% of her paycheck from the hospital goes to taxes. Okay? So with the new tax plan going into effect, with her paycheck, instead of 35% of it going to taxes, only, I think she broke it down, I think she figured out it was like 12.5 or 13% are going to taxes. The rest of it comes here to the house. into the bank. Hence, i.e., more money in our pocket. Which that's how it's supposed to be. Because right now, we are overtaxed, double taxed, triple taxed. Okay? Now, if you guys want to really read something and really try to understand something, I'm gonna clue you in on something right now. If you really read the Constitution, it says that we are not supposed to be taxed. It does not say anything in there about a death tax, a marriage tax, a child tax, paying taxes 4 times over for something we buy brand new. We're not supposed to pay taxes for our cattle being somewhere. A grazing fee? Maybe, but not a tax. We're not supposed to be taxed for critters that we raise to live on. We're not supposed to be taxed for every piece of machinery that we have. You pay a tax when you buy the damn thing, so then why do you got to pay a tax every year for owning that piece of machinery to make your livelihood with? It's just like horses. If you are in a horse business, raising horses, showing horses, selling horses, you are taxed on that horse. You're taxed for raising that horse. You're taxed for selling that horse. You're taxed if you got a bunch of mares and they have colts. You're taxed on everything. Well, here's the kicker. The Constitution is against taxes. Now, here's something else you probably didn't know. If you was to go read the IRS laws, there is really no IRS laws. And one of the things in it that states is paying taxes is a voluntary thing. It's not mandatory that you pay taxes, folks. It's voluntary. And besides, the IRS is not an entity of the government. It's never been incorporated into the government. Never has it been incorporated into the United States government. It is a business working with the United States government, period, in a nutshell. And in its own guidelines, it states paying taxes is a voluntary thing. Nothing in it says that you have to mandatorily pay taxes. So, is this new tax bill going to help? It's going to help you. It's going to help us. It's going to help America. It's going to help businesses. It's going to help everybody who's trying to do better. All right, I'm going to look at some of these. I'm going to try to read them real quick. Cheryl Robertson, if you want to hear an old hitman for the Clintons talk, go on to YouTube. There's several interviews with him, a real eye-opener. Yeah, I've seen that. And it is an eye-opener. Alfredo Campos, everything that's going on right now is just like Mexico. It just went by too fast. I couldn't read it all. Laura Crawford, you are so right about everything. Someone is protecting them. Yes, someone is protecting them. And that's my question. With all the corruption going on in the government, your state legislatures, your federal legislatures, your federal representatives, if they're guilty, then how come they're not arrested? Now, I am going to inform you folks on something. There's something out there called the rule of law. Look this up. The rule of law. Do you know that according to the rule of law, if you see somebody committing a crime and you don't report it and you don't do anything about it, you can be arrested yourself as a perpetrator of that crime. So according to rule of law, does it behoove you to step up and report when somebody's doing wrong, when somebody's violating the law, somebody's breaking the law? Yes. Yes. You know, I've mentioned before on here that as an American citizen, as a citizen of the United States of America, even though it's a corporation right now, you still have one thing going for you. It's called citizen's arrest. In every state in the United States, you have the right to perform and do a citizen's arrest. And if you don't believe me, look at bounty hunters. What do bounty hunters do? Everybody thinks bounty hunters just go after bell jumpers. Okay? Yeah, they do. That's their main job. But when they do that, they arrest them. That's why every bounty hunter in the United States of America now has to go through a class. They have to be certified. They have to go through all procedures of arrest and containment. And now they have badges that they have to carry. And bounty hunters now are another version, basically, of law enforcement. In some states, they can carry weapons, guns and firearms. In some, they can't. But they have the right to arrest somebody, just like we do. Just like we do. We have the right to do a citizen's arrest. Now, with that being said, folks, if we're going to do a citizen's arrest, let's start with our representatives. If you know for a fact they are breaking the law, they are violating the law, they are committing treason, go arrest them. Get you, your fellow constituents, and somebody who knows what's what. Get all the evidence together and go arrest them, since nobody else is. Oh yeah, and by the way, take a news crew with you. Video it. You have the right to perform a citizen's arrest. It's in the laws. So with that being said, go arrest people that's doing wrong. Since our law enforcement won't do it, and since the people in government won't arrest themselves, they won't arrest their buddies, go do it yourself. Go arrest your representatives. If they come to your town, your hometown, and they're giving a speech, and you know for a fact, there are these town halls, and you know for a fact they have broken the law, you get a copy of the law that they have broken, then you go arrest them. You go arrest them for that. And you detain them for law enforcement to show up. And I guarantee you what, folks, every news outlet around, and every newspaper around, and every blog person around that's at that town hall meeting will have it on TV. It will be all over the internet that so-and-so, Maxine Waters got arrested. Nancy Pelosi got arrested. Barbara Boxer, de Blasio got arrested. Anybody. You can get any. Paul Ryan, John McCain. I don't care who it is. I don't care. You have that right, so exercise that right. Okay? Let's see here. Peggy Evans, did you see the video of the buses after being brought in from? Yeah. They voted. They brought in strictly to vote. The only thing that's free is you're not paying taxes on the air you breathe. That's from God. Patty Munson. Yeah, that's right, Patty. And it's a shame that we are being taxed so much. I mean, this vest. It's a Wyoming Trader's vest. It's a wool vest. I guarantee you people what? When they bought the stuff to make this, they got taxed on it. After they sold it, after they made it, they shipped it out. Well, they got taxed on a hauling fee. And then the people who bought these so they could put them out to sell, they have to pay that hauling fee plus the fee for what the material for the vest. So in turn, we have to turn around and we have to pay not only for the hauling fee, we got to pay for the vest, but we also got to pay the fee for them making the vest. So instead of this thing costing like $12, it costs 79 bucks. Ridiculous, isn't it? We're being taxed on water, drinking water. How asinine is that? Why are we getting taxed on water? I can tell you why. Water is one of the essential things in life we need to sustain ourselves. So, if you're going to get rich, what's the first thing everybody's got to have? Water. So make them pay for water. And trust me, they are. When was the last time you went to a restaurant and got a glass of water absolutely free? Absolutely free. Even in Woodward, Oklahoma, they will charge you for the water. There's a couple of restaurants here that do charge you for water. If you go into a convenience store and you get a cup, put some ice in it, and put water in it, they're going to charge you for that. They'll say, oh, it's for the cup and for the ice. Now they're going to charge you $1.50 for it. Really? The cup costs probably 1 cent or a half a cent, 1.5 cents. Ice probably cost 2 cents. So where's the $1.50 coming from? It's ridiculous. You know, we're getting taxed unbelievable. So there's where I'm supporting this tax bill that's coming out. Big time. But that's my opinion. You guys have to do your own research, but it's all on me. Alfredo Campos, you have the right to do a citizen's arrest. You're exactly right, Alfredo. You do. No ifs, ands, buts about it, and you can arrest anybody. Somebody wanted to go arrest Barack Obama, they could. You can arrest him and detain him for treason. Trust me. And if you did that, trust me, the media would be there in a heartbeat. Curtis Thompson, we the people are taking our country back. It's starting. Yes, it is, Curtis. There's a lot of things starting right now, folks. And I was telling you, it's scary times right now because there's so many things happening. And the great thing about the internet is people can look at social media and say, oh, social media is the worst thing out there. But social media, too, is how all this information is coming to you and coming to me and coming to everybody else. So is it a bad thing? It is if you use it wrong. It is if you think things are going on that's not. It is if you think that somebody's using social media strictly to fill an agenda against you or the other person. But here's another thing about it. Social media, the internet, is a way we have in today's world of knowing what's what. We have the ability to get on here, type in here or type in on the laptop and find all sorts of information. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's why there's only several places I go check a lot of things. And with every site, folks, you have to sort through it to see what is bullshit and what's not. I look at rumormillnews.com. I look at Nacera News, Nacera Blogspot. There's several other sites out there that you can go look at, and you can see what's what. You know, and here's the good part. There's retired judges on there actually putting out what's what. Retired lawyers putting out what's what. There's people from the government now saying what's what. So, all right. Esther De Pinto, it's about to keep freedom from our country, America. We're trying to keep freedom here. We're doing everything we can to keep freedom here. So all we can do, Maria Martin, all I can think of is Gomer Pyle sitting in citizen's arrest. Well, Maria, you can think that if you want to, but if you see somebody breaking the law, you do nothing about it, you can be arrested under the rule of law. So what would you rather do? Go up and say, you're under arrest, you're under citizen's arrest. Or would you want somebody to come put handcuffs on you for watching somebody break the law, i.e. violate your trust? So you take the choice. You can think it's Gomer Pyle or not, but if I see somebody doing something like that and I go up and say, hey, you're under arrest for citizen's arrest, if you want to say I'm Gomer Pyle doing it, that's fine by me. I don't care, because I am going to get that guy or that person, man or woman, and I am going to hold them to the law enforcement to get there, then I will press charges on them. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And trust me, there's a lot going on that needs to be done. Since our government's not arresting our politicians, we the people need to. So, Michael, Andre, wow. Von Hammer, sorry, Michael, I cannot say your last name. I apologize. The only problem with citizens' arrest is lawyers. You can be charged with kidnapping a criminal. You can. This is why I say you must know. If you see somebody breaking the law, get a copy of the law, okay? This is where you don't take them anywhere. You don't arrest them and haul them anywhere. You arrest them right there on the spot, and you keep your happy ass right there with them. You call the police. You're not going anywhere, so you're not kidnapping anybody. Yes, in today's society, the criminals are suing good people. I mean, my God, criminals are getting arrested and they're suing. People are shooting criminals breaking into their house. Then they turn around and sue the homeowner for trying to protect their family. Well, some of these liberal judges are saying, oh my God, you shot this boy for breaking into your house? How dare you? We're going to give this good person what they want. And you, the homeowner, are going to jail. Yes, you do have that going on. But no, under a citizen's arrest, you do not haul them anywhere. You do not take them anywhere. Just as soon as you arrest them, you call the police. Or you call the police right before you arrest them. You do not go anywhere. You hold them right where you're at until they show up. And you videotape everything. Because in today's world, video has a say in court now. All video, all recordings are upheld in a court of law now. So, you are not violating anybody's civil rights. Don't beat the hell out of them. Just arrest them. Just arrest them. That's all there is to it. All right, Brenda Merlino, what about a single mom being taxed for 1 month behind and taxes go through the roof to the point they lose their house? Mortgage is over $2,000 a month. Brenda, here's my opinion on that. I don't know where you live. Don't know anything about you. But here's my opinion. Do you really need to live in a house that costs over $2,000 a month? If you look around, you might have to move from your area, but I would find a cheaper place to live where you could support yourself. Because if they're taxing you now, then the more you get behind, the more they're going to tax you. And that's not right, but that's what they're going to do. But if you're paying $2,000 a month and you can't afford it because you're a month behind, it might be time to go find a cheaper place to live. And it might be mean you might be having to move somewhere to where you can't afford to live with your kids. You know, I get this all the time. People are saying, well, like California, oh, they're taxing us to death. Jerry Brown's did this, Jerry Brown's did, oh, we just can't afford that. Now they're wanting to tax on this. They're wanting to tax now the miles we drive a day. Folks, move. Move. I know it's not nice to hear, but they call me Mr. Brutally Honest for a reason. Go home, start looking around, call your friends, find out where there might be cheaper places to live, move. If it's out of the state, it's out of the state. You can always start over. There's nothing wrong with that. Because once the government starts taxing you, it trickles down to the people. Once the people start taxing you, they will dictate how much you will be taxed, and you can't survive. So maybe you need to go somewhere where you can survive, where they're not going to tax you to death. Just something to think about. All right. Barbara Wentland, everything is ridiculous. Yes, it is, Barbara. Everything is ridiculous. Curtis Thompson, Alabama was rigged big time. Oh, Alabama was rigged so bad it was ridiculous. I mean, you talking about a blatant display of ignoramic cheating. It was so obvious. They made this more obvious than anything. And that's the scary part. This was too obvious. There is so many laws being broken in Alabama with this election. It was so obvious. But at the same time, I got to say this. Judge Moore, I seen you on that painting horse. If you would ever like any lessons in horsemanship, I do horse training. I give lessons stuff. I would love to have you come up. I'll give you some riding lessons because, man, you was pretty tough on that horse. And whoever saddled that horse up for you should have known you got to have a pad underneath the saddle. Your back cinch does not go up in the flanks of that horse. So if you ever want riding lessons, Judge, I'd be glad to help you out there. I don't have a problem. But okay. Wooten John, there is 251 police officers per 100,000 people. That's right, there is. Do we need more police officers? Some places yes, some places no. Do we need to start keeping better eye on our police officers? I think so, because some of these police officers now are getting out of hand. Donna and I watched a video on Facebook, and you guys probably seen it, where this police officer had this woman up against the wall in the police department, had her handcuffed, and he had her around the neck, and she passed out. Well, he didn't even try to stop her from hitting the ground. He spun her around, and then he landed on top of her, busted her face wide open. So they took the handcuffs off to make it look like, well, we don't know what happened. I mean, they sped it up while they're waiting for the EMTs to get there. Yes, some things need to be done about our police forces. All right, Billy Parker, yes, you hung up on ridiculous is it. Okay, ridiculous is it. All right, yeah, it is ridiculous. Edna Sequel, Deplorable, North Carolina. Hello, Edna. Yes, Colin, we the people. We the people, for sure. Sharon Ferreira, thank you for being inventive, letting us know what's going on. My pleasure. I'm glad. This is just my opinion on things. Okay. The NWO is protecting the deep state. First EU, now North America. Civil War is coming. David Richter. Correct, David. We need completely out of the UN. The UN is asinine. The UN is so out of touch. And here's a nice thing about the United Nations. They have no say in the United States of America. You know, who was it, Rahm Emanuel or somebody put out there they want the UN to come to Chicago. They want to send peacekeeping troops to Chicago. Well, here's the problem with that. In our Constitution, no foreign military can be on the shores of the United States of America. So the UN can't send anybody over here. Two, you people in Chicago, you wanted this. You've wanted all them people killing each other. You got some of the strictest gun laws in America, but yet you have the highest death rate. You know, you guys are a prime example of what the NWO is. You guys are a prime example. You're setting the best example for America there is. Places like Chicago, Detroit, New York City, you guys are setting a prime example of what New World Order stands for. De Blasio came out and said he does not care how many Muslims, radical Muslims, kill New Yorkers. But immigrant Muslims will always be welcome in a sanctuary city. And so will all illegals. You guys are the perfect example of what the NWO is. And you're an example for us saying, no, I don't think so. Bullshit. We ain't going to have this. No, the New World Order, even though both Bushes pushed for it, no, I don't think so. Obama pushed for it. No, I don't think so. Clinton's pushing for it. No, I don't think so. You guys want to live in a socialist country? Move. America is not a socialist country. And our president, Donald J. Trump, is trying to prove to everybody that America is becoming great again. Becoming great again. Because we are a free country. We are not under anybody's rule. Like Australia, who's still under Britain's rule. Canada, who's still under Britain's rule. That's not us. We defeated the Brits. We debased the Brits so bad that they left. We became a free country. You know, folks, the New World Order has no place in America. And we need to let our voices be heard on this. The New World Order is the worst thing that can happen in the United States of America. Period, in a nutshell. Okay. Got a friend of mine on here. She's a bounty hunter. She says she'd be glad to sign the warrants. There you go. Brenda Marlino, sorry, this was just an example. Mortgage was not high. It was the taxes they are attached to the mortgage. Oh, okay. You were just using an example. Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. But here's my thought process on that. I don't care if it's your house payments that's $2,000 a month, your apartment, or whatever. Even your mortgages, even your taxes, mortgages, and everything together, if it costs $2,000 a month, leave. Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Donna Joe's in the house. Ooh. But my biggest thing is if it costs you $2,000 worth of mortgages, taxes and mortgages and stuff, leave. Sorry. Especially being a single mom raising kids, it's time to go. That's my opinion on it.
Does she own the house?
From what I'm understanding, what she put, she just
renting?
No, I think she was purchasing it, but it was taxes and all.
Okay.
It's taxes on the mortgage. So the mortgage means she's buying it.
Mortgage means she's buying it.
And Donna knows this because she's owned 3 places. Four.
But if she's buying the house and she's behind on her taxes, then she needs to get caught up. And if she can't afford the taxes, sounds like that's $2,000 for a year, or maybe it's every 6 months. Then maybe it's time to put it on the market and get your equity out. Don't lose the house. Sell it. You don't want the state or the city or whatever taking it for back taxes. So.
Well, she says she's a month behind, and they're adding more taxes onto it.
Yeah,
and we was talking about how taxes were being overtaxed on everything.
Yeah.
Hence the new tax bill.
Right.
Okay. It's a bad deal.
Don't lose your house, kiddo.
One of the other things I want to talk about right now is just with everything going on, none of our Democrats being arrested that's breaking the law. None of the rhinos are being arrested for breaking the law. There.
Thanks.
That's sharp. I just sharpened it.
Cool.
What can we do as American citizens? We have the right not only to do a citizen's arrest, we have the right to stand up and say what we think. Okay? In a New World Order, you can't stand up and say what you think. So, no, we don't need to be like the New World Order. We, again, do not need the New World Order in America. We are not a socialist country. We are not a communist country. We are a free country. And Donald J. Trump is trying to enforce that fact in front of everybody that we are a free country. So, okay, one of the other things I wanted to talk about was, let me pull it up here. I'm slow on a lot of things, folks. I'm sorry. It's just the way I am. I saved some stuff here. Anyway, Donna, I want you to tell them kind of your thoughts on what has been going on with everything we've seen here just in the last week.
Oh, we have that much time. It's sad. We've been hounded a lot. Chris probably touched on that.
Yeah, I done told him about
Our little friend over in
Australia.
Aussie land. It's been kind of an eye-opener for me. I never thought just giving my opinion would come back to bite us in the butt like it did. It was really pretty rank and raunchy and not very kind to not only us, but to some friends of ours. And it's just pretty sad. And all the things I see going on in the news, it's pretty lame. I mean, you can't even compliment a lady on how she appears for the day without it being misconstrued as sexual harassment. Things going on in our schools, the more bullying. I just mentioned to Chris this morning a young lady who hung herself this past week in California after being bullied in school again. What is wrong with our kids, people? We need to take these kids in hand, teach them right from wrong. You know, Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind one to another. 2-year-olds can grasp that. I taught 2-year-olds for 16 years straight at church. And let me tell you what, they can quote that, be ye kind. What is wrong with being nice to one another? We don't have to be tolerant of people's ignorance. We need to teach them if we think they're doing something wrong, like they're trying to cram their philosophy down our throat. I'm sorry, people, I'm going to start cramming my philosophy down your throat. I kind of had it up to here, if you will. Social media is just run amok, and it's pretty sad. Chris said it's BS. Yeah, it's BS. And quite frankly, I'm sick of the BS. I think it stinks. Yeah, there's good and bad out there. You got to filter through the good. But there's so much bad. I mean, we really need to get back to some down-home values, some core values that maybe our grandparents tried to instill in us. Our parents maybe tried to instill in us. But kids today, single-parent families, I think it's really hard. And this poor girl who's got a family and it sounds like she's alone, she's trying to do it all on her own. I commend you. It's not easy. It's not easy to raise kids if there's both parents in the house. But it's just really hard. And we really need to start reevaluating what made this country what it is today. Get behind our president, support him regardless of how you feel about his political philosophies. I mean, we really need to stand together. The world is laughing at us, America, honestly. They are thinking, those stupid Americans, they're going to just fall. A house divided will not stand, period. It's been known to happen.
Let me, Sandra Hawk.
Right.
Scratch that, LOL. I heard Chicago is calling in troops from another country to help in Chicago. Well, here you go. I just pulled it up. I saved it. Cook County Commissioner wants UN troops in Chicago. Okay? It says here, a Cook County, Illinois Commissioner flew to New York Thursday to talk to the United Nations about putting peacekeeper troops on patrol in Chicago, according to Chicago Tribune. Fed up with the Windy City body count, Cook County Commissioner Richard Boykin was in the Big Apple to meet with Oscar Fernandez Taranco, the UN Assistant Secretary General. There was tribal warfare between the Tutas and the Huntus in Africa, and they deployed peacekeeper troops there to help save those populations and reduce bloodshed. We have to do something. Black people in Chicago make up 30% of the population, but 80% of those were killed by gun violence. Well, here's the problem with that, sir. Again, as I said, UN troops are not allowed by our Constitution in the United States of America. No foreign government soldiers or military are allowed in the United States of America. Period, in a nutshell. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Another problem is, Rahm Emanuel and all you other asshats up there in Chicago, you have let this happen. You have encouraged this to happen. You have some of the strictest laws in America, but yet you have the highest death rates, highest death rates of firearm and gun violence there is. 99% of it is black on black. I don't know what the population numbers are. Whites, blacks, Hispanics, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, all that. But I do know the statistics I see, 80 to 90% of the deaths are black on black. So why has Chicago gotten so out of hand? It's because you guys don't want your police out there. I don't think your police even want to go patrol out there because they know they can get shot at any daytime. In a nutshell, you know, you guys have some of the strictest gun laws. But for a place having the strictest gun laws, you have the most weapons of destruction in one place. Just like Detroit, just like Orlando, Florida, just like places in California. You know, everybody has problems. You guys need to learn how to handle your own damn problems. Quit looking for outsiders to come in and fix the problems that you freaking made. Every one of you son of a guns up there have been there for how many years? And you're wanting everybody else to come fix the problems that you made. Well, now it's time to man up, woman up. Pull your big girl panties up, pull your big boy pants up. You guys did this, you guys fixed this. In a nutshell. Because I will be the first one to tell you, UN soldiers are not allowed in the United States of America. It's not that hard to understand. Unless you're a liberal, and then we know you're freaking ignorant. In a nutshell. So it's time. Enough is enough. All right. Another one. Here we go with the Black Lives Matter bullshit again. And that's what it is. It's bullshit. This is truth uncensored. Give up your home you own. Black Lives Matter co-founder makes a demand list for white folks. Oh yeah, and did you hear that Black Lives Matter also saying is boycott any business owned by a white person? Period. Well, guess what? They won't be going to Walmart. They won't be going to Target, Sam's, Kmart, JCPenney, Montgomery Ward's,
Macy's, Neiman
Marcus. Oh, they won't even be going to Dollar Tree because the Canadians that own that are white. They won't be going. Your liquor stores. You won't be going to the liquor stores because they're owned by white people too. But anyway, this ad I sat here. Shanelli Helm, co-founder and organizer of the Black Lives Matter group in Louisville, wrote an article listing 10 demands that she feels privileged white people owe her and black and brown people.
Really?
Number one, if you don't have any descendants, will your property to a black or brown family, preferably one that lives in generational poverty. If you live in generational poverty, that is your own damn fault. That is your own fault for being so lazy and being so stupid to not want to better yourself. So don't blame white people. Don't blame anybody else that's of Caucasian race. Next thing you know, you're going to be blaming Native Americans that you've lived in generational poverty. So you're telling me that the black folks that's lived in generational poverty, you've kept them from going to school. You've kept them from getting an education. You've kept them from bettering themselves. You've done everything you can to keep your children from improving their life because you want them to live just like you do on a system, period, in a nutshell. let me clue you in on something. It's a well-known fact. People living on the system live better than we do.
They sure as heck do.
They live better than we do. They get more money for food stamps, for housing, for everything than we make in a month. They get double what we get a month, sometimes triple. I mean, you guys have all seen the videos, right? So if you're calling that generational poverty, kiss my ass, in a nutshell.
I've not met a decent human being who doesn't want their children to have it better than we did.
Exactly. That's every parent's goal,
yeah,
is to make sure your kids live their life and achieve more than what you did.
Exactly.
If you don't, you're worthless as tits on a board hog.
You really don't have any business having kids then.
Hell no. Hell no.
And it's not my place to say, no, you shouldn't have kids. But I want my kids to be smarter than me. I want them to know more than me. What's that song by, I can't remember his name. Is it Louis Armstrong? You know, babies being born today will learn more than I ever know.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope that's true.
And that's what it should be.
Exactly. That we should all become smarter on our own merit.
Do you know where Valparaiso, what is it? Valparaiso, Indiana is?
Valparaiso. Yes, I do.
Madeline
Hi.
Petrie.
Valparaiso, Indiana.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Here we go. Number 2, white people, if you're inheriting property you intend to sell upon acceptance, give it to a black or brown family. You're bound to make that money in some other white privileged way. So, okay. So if we give you this property we're going to inherit, and say it's farm ground. Say it's farm ground with a nice house on there. And if we give it to you, a white or a black or a brown place, but yet you don't know how to farm, you don't have the slightest idea how to farm. It's got a wood stove in there. You have no idea how to build a fire in a wood stove. So does that mean that you won't sell it? Or are you going to invite everybody from the ghetto to come live on that place and destroy it? Destroy the sanctity of that place and what it was built up to be? Or are you actually going to get an education and go work with somebody and learn how to do what you got to do to maintain that place and keep it at a standard that's going to be better than what you received it in?
Oh, don't even get me started. Because there's a parable in the Bible, you know, that a master gave 3 of his servants, and he gave one so many talents, another some 2, and I think it was 10, 2, and 1. And the one that he gave only 1 to went and buried it instead of using that talent to at least, and talent I understood it to be a monetary value. Instead of at least putting it in the bank where it would draw interest or something like that, he buried it because he was afraid of the master. Are we using our talents? Are we learning new skill sets? Are we doing that to better ourselves? I don't think so.
No.
I think we're stagnant. The Asian Chinese people, when I see their kids and the awesomeness of them, I mean, these little tiny kids sitting up to a piano and playing these concertos, you know, that they play the violin or some other musical instrument. These kids spend hours learning a new thing, you know, and I realize their parents are driving them to do this. We don't even encourage our kids to go to school. We help perpetuate their ignorance by not making them go to school, by not instilling that education's important, learning's important, to show respect to those who are teaching them to learn. You know, you're allowed to threaten your teachers. You're allowed to skip school. You're allowed to become gang members, that sort of thing. There's no respect in this country for our educational. And I can say this wholeheartedly because not only is my son, but his wife, they both teach in Michigan. And let me tell you what, it's nice school districts that they work in. They are blessed to do so. But there is still so much disrespect for other teachers that I worked for personally. You know, like in Flint schools. I know a Flint school teacher, she's now retired, but personally, her and some of her co-workers were threatened with bodily harm, with knives, with rape, with assault. Trust me, I would not put a dog I liked in those situations.
It's bad. All right, number 3. If you are a developer or realty owner of multi-family housing, build a sustainable complex in a black or brown blighted neighborhood and let black and brown people live in it for free.
Why?
Yeah, why? We don't even get places to live for free. So why should we let you live somewhere for free? So you're saying that somebody should go build something and say, here you go. Sorry, Habitat for Humanity does not work that way.
No.
Period, in a nutshell. If you want someplace to live, you have to earn it the American way. That means get off your ass every day. Get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. Sit, shower, and shave. Get your breakfast. Pack your freaking lunch. And go work your 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And then you can afford to live in a place. In a nutshell.
Even Habitat for Humanity makes you work.
If you want the house, you got to work on it. You have to help
build it. And then you have to put so many hours in, and they don't give it to you. I mean, it's maybe at a lower price than you would have purchased it, but no, I'm sorry. That's just wrong. We have homeless vets who put their life on the line who don't have housing.
Good point. Good point. If we are going to give free housing, does it strictly need to be brown or black people?
Nope.
No. Our veterans of the United States of America come before you.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. And as a vet, I am a firm believer in giving all of our vets free housing. I'm a firm believer in it.
Yeah.
If you have an honorable discharge from the military or you were retired from the military, you should be afforded free housing for the rest of your natural life. Anybody who's in the military should have free housing, should have free health care, which we do, basically through the VA. No, just because you're brown or black does not mean. What about, so you're actually segregating yourself from the rest of the races in the world who are worse off than you in some places. What about the Oriental people? What about the Andalusian people? What about some Peruvians? What about some Russians? Czechoslovakians? Polish. There's other people. All right, here we go. Number 4. White people, if you can afford to downsize, give up the home you own to a black or brown family, preferably a family from generational poverty. No. Here we go with the generational poverty again. That is your fault for being generational poverty. That is your fault in a nutshell. It's nobody else's fault. You guys are too lazy and too ignorant, too stupid to go out and better yourself. You cannot blame anybody but yourself and your family. In a nutshell. Gary's calling me. Maybe he wants to be on this. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You want to be on this live stream?
No.
Oh, I'm still on. Now let me call you back.
I don't want to be on live stream.
Okay, well, let me call you back then.
I'm going to turn it on. I thought it was over.
No, I'm still on, Gary.
Chris.
Once I get going, I can't stop. He hung up. Gary. Okay, number 5. White people. If you are the people if any of the people you intend to leave your property to are racist, change your will and will your property to black or brown family, preferably a family from generational poverty again. Now, here's the funny part about this. According to the black people, everybody except for blacks are racist. Well, I got something to say about this. And nothing's been said about this yet. Who are the real racists here? Okay? As a black person, You can use the N-word all day long. You can talk about the female's hair, how wiry it is. I think there's called nappy. We actually follow a guy on Facebook, a black man from Mississippi, who's a horse trainer. This man goes off on black people constantly because of the laziness, because of the racist stuff. You will never hear white people. You will never hear Irish, Scottish, American Indians, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese come out and throw the race card around as much as blacks, especially people like her. You people are the only son of a bitches out there throwing around the racist card. So no, if I'm considered a racist because I'm not going to give you a place because you are generational ignorant and you're on poverty, again, that is your own damn fault. Change your family tree. Change the roots that's in that tree that you planted. Pick that sumbitch up, go somewhere else, plant it, start all over again. Get out of the hood. Number 6, white people, rebudget your monthly so you can donate to black funds for land purchasing. Okay, this is where you are really ignorant. Really ignorant. As somebody who deals in agriculture, there are grants out there through the United States Department of Agriculture. There's grants out there through the FSA, soil conservation, all these different entities that deal in agriculture. Guess what? Some of them, a lot of them, are actually for minorities. They are for minorities. They are grants. And if you are black, brown, white, pink, purple, I don't give a shit. If you was in the military, you can take the military VA system and go buy you a home and or land through the VA. So no. We do not need to rebudget nothing for land purchasing. You can go get your land just like everybody else. Do your paperwork, get your credit score up, go to the bank, fill out your paperwork, look up those grants, apply for those grants as a minority, and then go from there. Number 7, white people, especially white women, because this is y'all's specialty. Nosy Jenny and Madeline Catholic, get a racist fired. Y'all know what the blank they are saying. You are complicit when you ignore them. Get your boss fired because they are racist too. So you're saying that every white woman out there needs to get their boss fired because he's a racist. Okay. Me and Donna, when we're here at the house and on our property, we work for ourselves. So Donna, does that mean you're supposed to fire me because I'm a racist? Well, she said no because she needs me around. So are you talking about major corporations because every corporation is a racist? You need to expound on this. Who is the racist boss? You know, I would fire you because it sounds to me like you are just freaking stupid, ignorant, and lazy. It sounds to me like the only thing you want to do is live off the system and live off the sweat of everybody else's work. Number 8, backing up to number 7. This should be easy, but all those sheetless Klan, Nazi, and other little blank white men, we all will be returning to work. They get blank fired. Call the police even. They look suspicious. Study your history. 90% of the Klan members are Democrat. The Klan during the election did not come out in support of Donald Trump. The Klan came out during the election in support of Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Are you that ignorant? And the Klan was started by the Democratic Party. Are you that freaking ignorant? Nazis was Germany, not America, was Germany. Adolf Hitler, his brown shirts, SS, Germany, not America. Study your freaking history before you go flapping your gums about something you know absolutely nothing about. Because you know you might be watching Tyler Perry or something on there, or you might be watching Sanford and Sons. You might be watching Saturday Night Fever or something. But we know you're ignorant from this. Number 9. Okay, backing up to number 8. If any white person at your work or as you enter the spaces and you overhear a white person praising the actions of from yesterday, first get a picture, get their name and more info. Hell, find out where they work, get them fired, but certainly address them. If you need to get your hands on them, use them. That make any fucking sense to you? Sorry. Because it didn't to me.
No. I'm you know what? I'm really having a hard time with all this entitlement. I'm not entitled to anything free.
Hold on. Mike Pardo said, do people really think this way? Yes, they do. They come from places in big cities. They do think this way. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was going to say, I'm just scratching my head trying to understand. They're thinking white people are entitled. What gives them any right to think that they are entitled because of the color of their skin?
Exactly.
What a double standard this is.
How are you entitled to something?
Yeah, any more than I am. I work for a living.
I was born in 1964, Merced, California. I was baptized in San Gabriel Mission in California. My dad, my real dad, served in World War II. He got to Pearl Harbor after it was bombed, the day after it was bombed. From there, he went to be a cowboy. From there, he went to be a lumberjack. From there, he drove truck. And then he worked in sawmill for the rest of his life. Basically until he died. My dad did not have a pot to piss in. My dad worked for everything he owned. He built his house and my grandma's house, which is right next door to him. My mom came out of a family of 11. My mom's been married numerous amounts of times. So, how do you think that you are better than me? How am I less deserving than you? Because after spending my first 14 years of my life at California's Boys Ranch, graduating high school, going into the military, working ranches all my life, doing everything I can to better myself, to change myself for to be a better man than the way I was brought up. So does that mean you're more deserving than me? No. No. You have to work for everything you want. The United States of America is not for handouts. The United States of America is not to give you everything you want. President John F. Kennedy said, and I quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." And that's the problem with people like this. They think they deserve everything while they sit on their fat ass and don't do anything to better themselves. You want to live in generational poverty? That's your own damn fault. You can fix that. Go rent a U-Haul. Go rent anything. They got places where you can go rent those used vehicles. Move. Sell everything you own. Put you and your kids on the bus. Close your eyes, open the map. Okay, Topeka, Kansas. Omaha, Nebraska. Baraboo, Wisconsin. Minot, South Dakota. I don't care where it is. Roswell, New Mexico. Logan, Gallatin, New Mexico. Logan, New Mexico. I don't care. Move. Better yourself. Work for it.
Have a sense of pride.
You know, growing up in Amarillo, there was an old black man. And my little brother, who's on here, can testify to this. His name is Mr. Arnold. Sean, you remember him? Remember Mr. Arnold? Mr. Arnold shined shoes. Mr. Arnold had a butchering business, butchered beef, hogs, everything there was to butcher, right? His business was right across the road on River Road, right across the road from the lumber store. And let me tell you something about Mr. Arnold. Mr. Arnold did not have an education. He was a self-taught man. His dad was a sharecropper. He left Georgia, moved to Texas, worked ranches as a young man. And he adopted and put 27 kids through college. And they're all black.
Wow.
And he did it from the sweat on his back, sweat on his brow. And he died a happy man. And lots of people showed up because of the respect they had for him. You, I have no respect for at all. Number 10, commit to 2 things. Fighting white supremacy where and how you can. This doesn't mean taking up knitting unless you're making scarves for black and brown kids in need. And funding black and brown people and their work.
Sorry.
How about you knit your own damn stuff? Or did your generational poverty teach you nothing? Because I know a lot of women, black and white, that know how to knit. My mom still knits today. Even though she's sitting up there in that assisted living center in Amarillo, she still knits today. She still crochets today. And if my mom, who's in her 70s, go and has dementia and Alzheimer's can do it, I know damn good and well you can freaking do it. Knit you a sweater yourself, you idiot.
The wonderful satisfaction you'll get from making something yourself is lovely. You know,
as knowing that you did it yourself.
You did it yourself. There's a sense of pride.
And there's
in
no
that.
white privilege in that,
No.
you dink.
I just don't understand. This is just comical to me anymore. I mean, I'm not only thinking we're being laughed at, I'm starting to laugh at us too because our ignorance, the stupidity. I mean, the things that come out of this nation anymore.
You know, Barack Obama brought all this crap out. Barack Obama for years told the black people, oh, you've been suppressed.
He took us back to the dark ages. I'm sorry.
Suppressed, okay? I'm going to get on a deal here. I'm going to get on thing. Basketball. How many players in the NBA are black? More than 90%? More than 95%? More than 98%? How many of them are brown? How many of them are Oriental? Football.
The majority.
How many of them are black? How many of them are white? How many of them are Mexican, Hawaiian, Samoan, Oriental? The paychecks they receive for being able to play basketball and football. Baseball. Okay? Baseball. Starting to see more and more black people. Mm-hmm. You guys want to call us rednecks and all this stuff? NASCAR, the #1 driving sport in America, next to the Indy Series. But let me tell you something, what? Starting to be a lot of black people get into it. Starting to be a lot of brown people get into it. Okay? It's just not a white-dominated sport. Rugby and soccer. Soccer is called football in other countries. How many people do you think play soccer that are Mexican, brown, black, Oriental, white? A lot.
I mean, isn't that pretty much the predominant sport in these other countries?
Yep, soccer is. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Soccer
it's
is.
Pretty intense, very physical.
It is. But you don't want to hear something? There is a lot of black people out there who are not generational poverty because they chose to better themselves. There's a lot of black people out there who's gone to school via grants, student loans, however they could. They work full-time jobs where they're going. We have a good person right now in office, Dr. Ben Carson, who's a prime example of that. Grew up in Detroit.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Was it Detroit? I thought it was Detroit. And he went to the library. His mom made him go to the library and read a book once a week.
It was a wonderful woman.
You know, this was a single mother who did not want generational poverty. So her kids did not grow up that way. He became the #1 brain surgeon in the country. So I don't want to hear about this generational poverty crap, because he came from poverty.
Do you remember that movie?
General Allen West.
Yep.
General Colin Powell. Both black.
What about that movie we went and watched for the women that worked for NASA?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
they were all
What was it?
black
Silent Whispers? No.
I don't know.
Yeah, we watched the movie. We wanted to see what it was. It had Kevin Costner in it.
Yeah.
About these women that were black.
Oh,
They were mathematicians.
brilliant.
They were so intelligent. They're the one who helped NASA take that step forward.
Mhm.
So I don't want to hear this shit about black people being generational poverty.
They were pioneers. People,
Yes.
come on.
You guys have had a rough time.
I didn't personally bring you here.
I didn't either. But let me tell you this. Scott Irish have had a hard time too.
Yep.
But let's get honest. Native Americans have had the hardest time of all. And they still do. Because of what we, America, has done to them. In a nutshell. So, the next time you want to categorize yourself as black and brown, you might want to think of the American Indians, the real native people of this country, the American Indians, the Cree, Arapaho, Apache, the Shawnee, every one of them, the Blackfeet, every one of them. So before you get a handout, I think we need to help our native people first.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the ability, just like every other citizen of the United States of America, to change who and what you are. We have colleges everywhere. We got night schools everywhere. We have Votex everywhere. You have junior colleges everywhere.
Online courses.
And it behooves you to better yourself. Instead of sucking on a nipple, complaining that you're generational poverty. If you're generational poverty, it's because you want to be. I think you're related to Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson in somehow, some way. And that shit's got to stop.
You have my condolences.
Work for everything that you have. We do. And we still don't have a pot to piss at. Period, in a nutshell. We got 6 head of cattle. I got 2 cows, a longhorn bull turned out here. I got 3 more cows turned out up here, right?
Yep,
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 horses, 5 horses. 5 horses. I got 3 in here for training. All right. We're renting this 100-year-old home. We're renting, well, at least on 100 acres. We work that. Not only do I work around here, but I work at the sale barn on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I also just took another ranch job over here, part-time, where it's 3 to 4 days a week, making $15 an hour, where I bust my ass. I'm not flipping hamburgers for $15 an hour. Donna Joe works at the hospital right now in housekeeping, making $9 an hour. But she also just went through and became a CNA. So she's waiting for a CNA position to open up because she's going to jump on it. Just like a frog eating a fly. But you know what? If you don't want to improve yourself, my opinion is you're a dumb son of a bitch. Now get your ass out there and improve yourself and quit wanting handouts from the American government, because Donald J. Trump is going to stop that shit, and I'm going to be right behind you. You damn right. All right. Stella Henry. I'm 74 and struggling every single month to make ends meet. I'm a widow for 16 years. All my life I've worked. I need a small part-time job. See, that's the problem with people like Stella. She's worked all of her life. Now she's a widow. My condolences, Stella. But see, our elderly are having to start working again. But see, she's willing to work, unlike you. What's this lady's name again? Let me get back to it. Chanel Helm. See, instead of like you, Chanel, Stella wants to work because she has to. You want to sit on your fat ass and have everything give to you. She don't want nothing give to her. She wants to earn it. It's like her and her husband have their entire life.
She has a sense of pride.
Yep. This whole thing about suppression, you're right, Marvin. Suppression is a farce. You guys are running from the truth. You've been hit with the truth so hard, now it scares you. Well, the truth is this. You don't get nothing handed to you. You don't get nothing handed to you at all. And here's the funny thing, folks. In case you haven't been paying attention, President Trump is going to change the welfare system. He's going to change it. There's been rumors coming around it. Yes, you will start having to do drug tests. Yes, if you go in the welfare system, you must apply for jobs before you can receive any benefits. So you have to change yourself in order to make yourself better. Because enough is enough. All right, I've had enough of that. All right, Charles Krauthammer.
Mr.
Charles Krauthammer. Okay? This man is highly intelligent. He came out with a deal talking about Obama's Organization for America, i.e. the shadow government. Now, folks, how did somebody get 30,000 members to start disrupting the government, disrupting our president and everything he is trying to do to better us, to make America great again? So what do we got to do with this shadow government? We got to stop it. How do we stop a shadow government? If they're not going to arrest them, we need to arrest them. Period. We need to arrest them. If the government's not going to arrest them, we need to. So it behooves us as we the people of the United States of America to uphold our constitutional rights, to defend ourselves from foreign and domestic terrorists. And as far as I'm concerned, the shadow government that Obama is coming out with, this Organization for Action, is a terrorist entity within the borders of the United States of America. You know, there are laws on the books right now which he can be arrested for doing this. So we need to start going after him. You know, for 200 years, democracy in the United States was established. And now, he's trying to blame everything on Trump trying to destroy democracy. No, he is the one trying to destroy democracy. Anyway, I pulled this thing up off of Ed Clinton's page, and it's put out by Charles Krauthammer. And you guys need to look that up and share it. All right? Okay, links. Any more links I need to... Okay. Well, I think I'm going to call that good for right now. But, you know, folks, we have so much going on that it's scary. We have some huge changes coming. And I'm going to tell you this. I've been reading, I've been doing some research. In the next 2 weeks, there's going to be some major changes coming. And they should scare the hell out of you. Because it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And my opinion on this is you have to do your own research. You have to start reading between the lines. You have to really start listening to things. You have to really start researching things. You need to get prepared. You need to lock and load. You need to get your supplies together.
Absolutely.
You need to make sure you have enough rations to last you for quite a while. You need to make sure you got all your shit together. Because when things in this government start turning around, and I think it's going to be right after Christmas break, wow, I think you're going to start seeing some things happen that's going to scare the hell out of you. I don't want you to sit there and say, well, what's going on? I didn't know this. I didn't know this. Start looking at different websites. Start seeing what's going on. Start paying attention. Start listening. Oh, yeah, it is. And it's coming at you full force, folks. Because I do believe in the next 2 weeks, we're going to see a buttload of resignations. Or we're going to start seeing a lot of people get arrested. If they don't get arrested, they're going to resign. And yeah, they need to be arrested even though they resign.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to start seeing it. And it's not only on the liberal side. I think it's going to be in the rhinos too. So folks, my opinion is get your poop in the group and get going. All right? You got anything else?
No.
Sure?
Yes.
All right. Donna Joe, for Mr. Brutally Honest. I salute all our military.
Thank you.
I salute all of our police, firefighters, law enforcement personnel. Folks, have a beautiful day. Enjoy it. And just remember this. You sat on a wooden fence too long, I'm going to get splinters in your butt. So get up and get something done. All right.
Take care.
Y'all have a good day. We'll see y'all. Oh. As a side note, since I took this new ranch job, my Wednesday live feeds more than likely will be done in the evenings after 5 or 6 p.m. I'm going to have to do some visiting with it and stuff. But since I got this ranch job, I'm not going to be able to do my live feeds on Wednesday at noon anymore. So I will be keeping up with Saturday ones, but Wednesday might be moving to the evening around 5 or 6 p.m.
You can't eat lunch and talk for an hour and a half, too.
Yeah, because I only get like 20 minutes for lunch. So, but anyway, all right, guys, I appreciate everything. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Be sure to share this. Share it with everybody you know. Tell everybody about Mr. Brutally Honest and Miss Donna Joe. Love you guys. See you later.